With the price of modern day drivers skyrocketing, in today's video we're going to go to a second-hand golf shop and see just what driver we can get to compare to Callaway's 2025 Elite Sub-Zero driver. Now this thing's going to set you back upwards of £500 at some places, so let's go and see just what we can buy for quite a lot less. So I've come to the guys at Golfers for Cash, Europe's largest second-hand retailer, to see if we can find a Callaway driver that can potentially stand up to the likes of the new Callaway Elite range of drivers. Now we all know that they are mega expensive, but they do perform quite well. Now Callaway have had some good drivers for quite some time now, and I think I've found that kind of nice middle ground of budget, affordable, second-hand, and of course something that performs really well. What do you think that is? Because I was a huge fan of the AI Smoke, I was a huge fan of the standard Paradigm, the Rogue ST, everybody knows on this channel, has a huge place in my heart because it still performs incredibly well. But there's a driver in this lineup which I think could be, like I said, that lovely sweet spot, and I think it's this one. We have a Callaway Epic Speed. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's moved. Where have I put it? Oh, it's this one. It is the Callaway Epic Flash Sub-Zero driver. Now this thing is incredibly affordable. It's going to set you back just £174.99 as opposed to that kind of £500 price point of the brand new Callaway Elite. Now I think the Callaway Elite has some kind of flashbacks to the Epic Flash. That wasn't supposed to be a pun, but I really like how that Epic Flash does look. It has that movable weight, it has that Traxel carbon crown, it has lots and lots of good technology in there. So can it stand up to Callaway's latest offering? Let's go on the golf course, let's jump in the studio, let's see just how close they can get. And guys, check out the link in the description below if you want anything from the guys at Clubs for Cash, because their inventory is insane. So guys, back out here on the golf course, and we have our Callaway Epic Flash Sub-Zero driver. Now this thing was absolutely fantastic back in the day. I remember reviewing this probably 5, maybe 6 years ago now. And as you saw at Clubs for Cash, £174.99. Now I've actually managed to match the shafts up really well. We've got the set on the perfect settings. So let's see potentially just what, I need a glove, Rob, don't I? Just what differences we see both out here on the golf course and of course in the studio with these drivers. Guys, do me a favor, get in the comments below which driver would you be buying, because I think they look quite similar. I think the Elite did bring back obviously those green flashes, and the Epic Flash, green flashes, there we go Rob, Epic Flash. But technology wise, we're going to talk about the differences, because both these drivers do have movable weight technology, but Callaway have kind of progressed on with potentially making it more and less forgiving by moving that CG forwards and backwards as opposed to having the draw and fade setting. So really two very similar drivers, but also two totally different drivers when it comes to the tech and when it comes to that price as well. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Let's hit one and we'll talk about the tech that goes into this Epic Flash. I love the look of this crown. It looks absolutely brilliant. Lovely Traxel carbon weave. That's a little bit toey just up that left side, and immediately what I'm thinking here is that felt quite firm. I remember this driver feeling quite firm back in the day. When it comes to the tech that's in it, we've already spoken about that Traxel carbon weave on top, but we also have jailbreak technology, which is these two rods here to allow you to get a little bit more ball speed on off-center hits, which is exactly what we've tested there, because that was quite out of the toe. Flash face technology, so that's that AI-driven technology where the face is a little bit more like a, you're like inside an Easter egg, where it's a bit ripply, looks like that. So, right, not much to go at there, but let's see just potentially how forgiving the Elite driver is. We're going to go one chance only on a couple of different tee shots and just see what the big differences are. Very different looking driver on top here, I must say. More of a shiny finish. Now that's interesting because that's a really good drive, and that felt like a similar strike location. You can actually see here where I've hit this out of the face. So this Elite driver does have the AI 10 times face. I got that right first time. And you can see that we have actually a carbon sole here. So that allows Callaway to move the mass around the head where they want it, to make it more forgiving and potentially a little bit longer as well. But that's a claim. Let's see where those have finished. And also let's talk some numbers a little bit later on, because the big numbers are the price. Big numbers. So when it comes to buying second-hand golf clubs, first of all, what should you be looking for? And also, what are the best deals? You'll see we have a full bag of second-hand drivers here because we're doing this video across a couple of different brands. I strongly believe that, to be honest, I do like the modern day drivers. I like the new stuff, even though they are quite expensive. And to be honest, out of reach for a lot of golfers. But I really love the fact that there are more affordable options out there. I really enjoy the fact Bobby's going to fall over that tee marker. But I think that golf's there for everyone now, isn't it? And you can get a good driver for, like we saw, 150, 160, 170 pounds. Now, for me, you want to look at a couple of things. Like if we look at the Epic Flash Driver that we've got, one thing that I'm a stickler for is it has to have a good grip on it. Like this is pretty much a brand new Golf Pride MCC grip, so you don't have to go and spend another 15, 20 pound. Grips are expensive nowadays, aren't they? Then when you look at the spec, I think one thing which really helps is having an adjustable driver. So you can see this is a 9-degree, but we've put it up to 10 degrees just to match the Elite driver that we've got. We can also change it into fade and draw setting, as you saw a little bit earlier on. So really, this driver, if you are in the market for a kind of low spin monster, could be the one for you, even if it's not exactly the one for you, if I know what I mean, because you can get a really, really good deal. So I think just look out for things like that, but also look out for sometimes the cheapest one isn't the best value, because value and cheapness are two very different things, aren't they? Right. Ooh, right in the middle of the fairway, that one, Bobby, for a change. So guys, you can see the Epic Flash Driver just up here in the trees on the left-hand side. It's not too bad for distance, especially with the strike up on it. You can see the Elite driver bang smack in the middle, probably 10, 15 yards further up. Now, I'm not saying that that's because of the driver. Obviously, it depends how you hit it, where you hit it out of the face and everything else, but that is 1-0 to the Elite. Or would you take that drive and have like an extra £300 in your pocket? Potentially. Let's continue. So a really interesting point to this debate, and to be honest, a really interesting point to this video, is the marketing behind obviously modern day drivers. We all know that the brands pay the world's... Oh, that really hurt. We all know the brands pay, that was easy to get off, the world's best players to use these to market them and whatnot, but a lot of players sometimes now do use the older stuff because they like it, they're in with it, they're comfortable with it. So not so much the Flash, but certainly when we start talking about tailor-mades in the bag, you can start to see a little bit of a where golf, like McIlroy for example, he really doesn't like moving, does he, when he's happy with one. Right, Epic Flash first. Or should we go change it? Elite first. I do love the look of this head. Down the right hand side, bit of draw. It's not a bit of draw, but that's perfect. You know, I do feel like with Callaway, because I really enjoyed the Paradigm, and I was going to get the Paradigm for this video, but I wanted to go a little bit older, a little bit cheaper, because Paradigms are still like £300. Now, if I can recreate that shot, is there going to be a big difference? What do you think, Bob? Because, ooh, look at that. Think there's going to be a big difference? I think so, yeah. So you can see the weight setting as well. We do have the heavyweight forward, so we have it in that kind of mega low spin setting. You can sort of tell with the ball flight we just had. Exactly the same, please. It still looks so good down at the ball. It really does. I love that kind of, you know, it half moons a little bit. Very similar, isn't it? That's cutting back again. It's just took a little kick left, but it's still in play and it's quite a good shot. Now, it sounds awful, doesn't it? And I remember this being a good sounding driver, but it's amazing how acoustics have come on in modern day drivers, because that just doesn't sound nice at all, does it? I think that might surprise you a little bit, you know, because I've hit that quite well. They were both just, look at that. You can't hit it better than that, can you? Out of the Flash face. Flash! Ah! I did that in the review back in the day. You probably know, you'll have watched it, Bob, won't you? Alex Etchers does a lot of things. Okay, so as we can see, the Elite driver right in the middle of the fairway, a really good tee shot and a really good drive. Now, here we have the Epic Flash Driver. You can see it's got a lot of mud on, and I think it's pitched here. So it's hard to tell this time of year, really, kind of what the big differences are. There's probably five yards in that rod, would you say, distance-wise, maybe 10? That way. Obviously, this is taking a bit of a kick left, but I still don't mind it as a shot. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see what the numbers differences are, because we're going to hit a ton of shots with both these and see just potentially what the real kind of statistical differences are. Is that the right word? Right, we'll go with it. But so far out on the golf course, Elite 2, Flash, Gordon, none. Epic, I forgot the name of it. Come on, let's go. Okay guys, let's talk numbers for these two Callaway heavyweight drivers and see just what pound you get for your buck. That doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna, yeah, bang for your buck, that's it, probably. Should we kick things off with the Epic Flash? Yeah. See what we can get. It's, this could be really interesting, actually. A couple of big ones with this really set the movement. It sounds better in here than it does outside, although that's not gone. 260 with a bit of a cutty one, 285 total, not the end of the world. Nice and low spin, I remember this being low spin back. That was an absolute knuckleball, that one. Okay, that one just glide. And this is where I'm happy with it, like that to me is performance of the modern day driver. It certainly is, it just seems to float through there. Immediately, how much better does that sound, by the way? Is it because it's a newer sound, or?
And the funny thing is for me, when I tested the new Callaway Elite Driver comparable to the Epic, it did sound quite a lot different and performed, I think, quite similar. It is a very difficult task to hit lots and lots of shots and talk, so that's why we're doing the voiceover. But realistically, I do think potentially there's a bit more forgiveness there in the new one. And when we come to talk about the numbers...
Oh, Bobby, look at that. Go on then.
You can see there's not a huge difference. The Elite did give me 1 mile an hour more ball speed on average over the bunch of shots that we hit. We hit more shots than you saw, but we didn't want to include them all because you would get bored. And the spin rate was actually just a touch higher, which I do think has helped it get that tiny bit more distance as well, and a little bit of a different launch. So realistically, for the price difference, I think we all know this was coming, didn't we?
So when it comes to value for these clubs, which one has the best value? Because so far, the Elite is performing pretty well. I'm quite happy with the numbers we've got. I'm quite happy with the shots we've hit. But I'm really happy with the price of this one. So is there a middle ground here? Should you maybe go Paradigm, like we said, where it's kind of £300, not £500? Is this just that kind of generation too soon? I'm not sure it is. I really, really like this. I think, apart from it sounding not very good, which, to be honest, I didn't expect it, because I remember testing this actually out in Abu Dhabi when it was released and thinking, wow, that feels great. So funny how times change and how, like, because the new driver's out and that feels and sounds, I'm not going to say better, because it's a personal thing, isn't it? It just sounds different, and I prefer the new one being that bit different. Right, 18th hole, you've got your budget second-hand driver, you stand up in a match and you hit that, and you're just happy with it. That is a nice drive. It's up the right-hand side. It's in the fairway, is it? Yes. And it's a nice strike. Again, can you tell the sound? Yeah, I don't know. No, it doesn't sound amazing, does it? So I've just hit that. Now your playing partner comes up, he's just spent £500 and odd pound. The pressure's on, isn't it? Like, you do not want to be that guy where you've spent the big money and your mate outdrives you, or, God forbid, you hit out of bounds or in the bunker or in the hazard. Let's go same. It's funny actually how the head shapes have changed so much. Can you see how, like, at the back there of the Elite, it's a lot more kind of pointy, whereas that's a lot more rounded, isn't it? Just different, I think, not same shaft length. That's good. Probably should have checked that before, shouldn't we? Now the pressure's on, because your mate's hit one with a budget driver. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? That's really good. And the one thing I think really with the Elite that we've got here is I think I've hit the centre line on, like, all of them. And that was a little bit out the toe as well. So guys, get in the comments below, what do you think? Which one would you buy for the money? Would you go latest and greatest for £500? Or would you get yourself to Golf Plus for cash and get yourself a bit of a bargain? Because there is a winner, but I think the winner is me and you, because there's options for us all. Bye.